morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing in the chat today? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully, you're all having a good day. Hopefully, you're all having a good start to the week. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you all hit that like button, hit that subscribe, share this channel out with everyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you all are hitting those emojis, those heart emojis down there at the bottom. It does really help out with the channel. Any support for the channel is greatly appreciated, and I do thank you for it. We are on the road to 900 subscribers, folks. We are just a little over 50 away from hitting that number, from hitting 900. So the sooner the better. I would love to get there, ideally by the end of the month. Of course, 1,000 is the big goal, but we got to get to 900 first. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's say what's up to the folks in the chat. How's everybody doing? AJ Prods, what's going on? How you doing? Stephen B, what's going on? Army Chow Mein, what's going on? Who else do we have in the chat? The chat's on fire this morning. Ken, good to see you in the chat, man. I know you were driving back, so hopefully you're doing well, man. Hopefully everything is okay with you and your family. And who else we got in the chat? We have Jonathan in the chat. Good morning to you. What is going on? Rodney, my guy, what's going on, Rodney? My guy Rodney in the building. What's up? We got Jared Williams in the building. What's up, Jared? Frank Rivera, how you doing? Edez, how we doing? The safe situation, what's up? Chet, what's going on? Egyptian Magician, what's going on? What's up? But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. How's everybody doing? Again, make sure you all are hitting the like button, hit the subscribe, share this channel out, and I would greatly appreciate it. It does really help out the channel. Make sure you all are hitting those heart emojis. It does help out with the algorithms that YouTube has. So I would appreciate it. But folks, the Tigers series, right? I didn't. It was a pretty disappointing series. Okay. You could point the finger at one person. You could point the finger at a group of people. Whatever the case is, but overall, this team didn't play well at all. It was awful, right? The pitching, and the offense. I mean, the offense was clear. The offense was clear. I know, Sunday night's game, for example, everybody, a lot of fans were crapping on Clay Holmes, which rightfully so. He gave up, he did blow the save. It was his 10th blown save of the season. Even though, I'll keep saying it, right? Half of those saves was due to errors in the infield, and we can argue about, well, those wouldn't have happened if Clay Holmes was able to get the guys out, and if they didn't, or if he didn't walk them, or whatever the case is. Still, players have a job to do. Yeah, Clay Holmes has a job to do. His job is to close out games, but if Clay Holmes can't get the job done, if the ball hits to the infield or to the outfield, the players have a job to do as well. And they get paid to do their jobs. Right. And that game against the Tigers on Sunday, I just want to say this. It was a 1-0 game. Right. I mean, shout out to Marcus Stroman for pitching a good game on Sunday against Tarek Skubal, which is not easy because Tarek Skubal, the Yankees were actually working him. Tarek Skubal, that wasn't really his best start. All right. I mean, Skubal, when he did go 6 innings, he gave up 3 hits. He gave up a run. It was on a wild pitch. He struck out 5, walked 4. So it wasn't his greatest start. And the Yankees offense, I mean, all series, it wasn't just Sunday, all throughout the Tiger series, it was awful. They did absolutely nothing in that series, the bats. So unfortunately, overall, when you look at the series, it just wasn't a good series. Good morning, Nosebleed section. How you doing? Eunice, how's it going? Albert, what's going on? How we doing? But Izzy, what's up, Izzy? I see you. Good morning to you. Now, with the Yankees bats, I mean, just to let you all know how bad it was. I mean, they scored 5. They had 5 runs all series. All series. He had 5. They scored a total of 5 runs. Okay, they scored 3 last Friday, and then they scored 2 on Sunday. They got shut out on Saturday. So, as much as people are pointing the finger at Clay Holmes, right, and rightfully so. The bats were also a problem that a lot of people are not talking about. 5 runs in that 3-game set. 158 average from the offense against the Tigers. 158 batting average against the Tigers in that series. Unacceptable. It's unacceptable. That can't happen, right? Now, one area one person I will give a lot of credit to is Marcus Stroman, because we weren't, as far as I go, I didn't know what version of Marcus Stroman we were going to get, and Marcus Stroman actually had himself a good game. He kept up with Skubal, and shout out to Marcus Stroman on Sunday. He kept the team in the game. He didn't give up any runs. He struck out 5. He walked 2. He went 6 innings. So, Marcus Stroman did a fantastic job. So, but again, it just stinks that with Marcus Stroman's great performance, the Yankees couldn't pull through, and it was mainly the bats, really. Yeah, the bullpen failed, definitely, but anytime you ask your bullpen to hold a 1-0 lead, that's a tough thing to ask for. Not to say it can't be done; it could be done, but 1-0 lead, that's not safe for any. That's not safe for any pitcher to try and hold that lead. It really isn't. But the offense, really it didn't come through. They should, in my opinion, they should have taken 2 out of 3 against the Tigers. It didn't happen. All right. And then, Jason, we all saw Jason Dominguez. He was the 27th man in that game on Sunday. I mean, folks, he did go 0 for 4. I know some people were blaming Jason Dominguez for that loss on Sunday because of his double pump on the ball, where he did this motion, where if he didn't double pump, he would have gotten the runner out. I thought he would have gotten the runner out. But I want to know from you, though. All right. As far as Jason Dominguez goes, I mean, I know it's one game, but how do you all feel about him? How do you all feel about Jason Dominguez? What's up, John? How's it going? I mean, listen, I'm not gonna crap on Jason Dominguez. All right. Yeah, one game, nothing to judge. But last year he got called up, and those 2 weeks that he played, he played. He looked good. He looked good, right? He looked good, but it's just we have to see him play more. We got to see a full season out of him. right? I'm not going to make any judgment on Jason Dominguez yet. I want to see more of him, and I think we will come next season. All right, I think he's. I still say he'll probably be the left fielder come next season. I don't think we'll see Alex Verdugo here, but a lot of people wanted. A lot of people wanted Dominguez called up. He got called up. Verdugo wasn't in the lineup. A lot of people were getting fed up with Verdugo, but I mean, did it make a difference? No, it didn't. So again, I'm not gonna pass any judgment on Dominguez. He's still young. He doesn't have a lot of Major League Baseball experience. I know he got called up last year, played a couple of weeks at the Major League level, and he got called up for Sunday's game. Didn't really deliver, but I also say that you have to set the expectations for these young players. Yeah, but John the Beagle Dad, here's the thing, man. He got called up as the 27th man, and usually the 27th man, they get called up, they're gonna get sent back down. That's how it works. They did that with Marinaccio, they did that with Peraza before, they did that with Vivas, they've done that with Will Warren. So the 27th man, they get called up, they get sent back down. Yeah, Nosebleed. I know his call up was to make him eligible for the postseason, but I'm just curious though. How do you all feel about Jason Dominguez? Because I'm not exactly sure about him yet. I'm not saying he's a dud, but I'm not gonna say he's a stud either, right? I want to see this guy play a full season and see what this guy is made of. So, they're comparing him, some folks, I don't know, some folks have compared him to the next Mickey Mantle, which I would, when those types of comparisons happen, I say, hey, let's slow it down. All right, let's settle down on those types of comparisons. It's the same thing with Anthony Volpe being compared to being compared to Derek Jeter, which I think is ridiculous. Okay, you gotta let players develop, and you gotta let those players be the best version of themselves. So we still don't know what you're gonna get with Jason Dominguez. We don't know. Yeah, it's Sunday's game. He didn't have a good game, right? Am I gonna crap on him? No, no. But it's because it's one game. Again, I know he got called up last year. He looked good, but again, it's a very small sample size. I know. I'm sure there's some people who think that Spencer Jones is the better prospect, but I know Spencer Jones he's a good player. His strikeout rate is high. I'll say that. He definitely needs to bring his strikeout percentage down. But after seeing I don't think Dominguez is necessarily going to be the savior, right? I think I'd say he'll be a contributor, but he's not going to be a savior. I'll say that. But I still want to give him a chance. Just like how they gave Anthony Volpe a chance, I want Jason Dominguez to get a chance. Austin Wells got a chance. Austin Wells, he's excelling. He's excelling. I mean, look. As far as young players go, I mean, Austin Wells is excelling. I mean, he's been playing extremely well, and I hope what Aaron Boone said is true, that he's going to get the majority of the playing time, even with Jose Trevino back, and rightfully so. He has earned that. All right. And I think Wells is a name that should be talked about over guys like Volpe and Dominguez, right? And with Volpe, I'll talk about him momentarily, because I know there's been a lot of talk about Anthony Volpe as of late, as far as what kind of player he's going to be, or he's supposed to be. Well, I say Jason. I say Jason because there's two S's in his name. So, yo, Damien, my guy, what's going on? Soul Max, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Make sure you all are hitting the like button, hit the subscribe, share this channel out with everyone you know. Greatly appreciate it. It does mean the world to me. But yeah, Wells needs to play 5 out of 7. Yeah, Wells absolutely needs to play 5 out of 7. He should get the majority of the playing time, plain and simple. Well, I want to know how Dominguez says his first name. I want to hear it from him. Because there's two S's in his name. But anyway, I'm not going to get into this debate. But yeah, again, the series against the Tigers was terrible. It's done. It's over. Nothing we could do about it. Nothing we could do about it. All we could do is move on. All we could do is move on. So, what's done is done. It's over. The Yankees just have to keep moving forward. Now, good news is as far as the standings go, the Yankees are a half game ahead of the Orioles because the Orioles did lose yesterday against the Mets, which that helps. And Nitin Ramachandra, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Shout out to my guy Nitin. Nitin set up the interview for me with Major League Baseball agent Andy Moda, and that was a fun conversation that I had yesterday. So if y'all haven't seen it yet, please go check it out. Shout out to my guy Nitin for making that happen. Nitin and his team are always working. They're constantly doing meet and greets and trying to set up interviews for us content creators. So shout out to you, Nitin. You're always you're working hard, man. So you and your team always trying to make things happen, always working. So keep up the good work there. But yeah, I'm not going to keep, like I said, I'm not going to keep going on about the Tiger series, but a few other things that I will mention. Again, I mentioned Clay Holmes is 10 blown saves this season. So he's the first pitcher since 1987 that has had 10 blown saves for the Yankees. The last person was Dave Righetti, and that was in 1987 with 13. So, that's something that Holmes needs to improve on. But, I know a lot of people don't want Holmes closing. They've met, other pitchers have been mentioned as far as who should be closing. Folks have mentioned Tonkin, Jay Cousins. They've mentioned a few names that should be closing instead of Clay Holmes, but I don't see that happening. Clay Holmes is going to continue closing for this team. He's going to continue being the closer, and we'll see how things progress. We'll see how things move forward. And shout out to my guy Uncle Tats from the Pinstripe Chronicles podcast. What is going on, man? What's up? Hopefully things are going well for you. Shout out to Uncle Tats. Make sure you all subscribe to the Pinstripe Chronicles podcast. If you are not subscribed to this channel, they are on their way to 800 subscribers. So let's get their channel up and going. Yeah, so a lot of folks feel this way. So Holmes has to be relieved of his closer role. But who do you put in that spot? You put anybody there, or do you go closer by committee? So Damien says it's needs to be by committee, period. I mean, they might go that route. I don't see it. I really feel like they're going to continue. They're going to continue sticking with Holmes in that situation, unless things get really bad. I still say they're going to continue going with Clay Holmes, but I could very well be wrong here. Izzy says closer by committee is inevitable. Maybe. So Nosebleed says that Holmes is the guy. They don't have anyone. In my opinion, I trust Holmes more than the others. Yeah. Committee, at this point, there's no clear resolution to the closer role as long as we want to keep Hill in the rotation. For sure. Yeah, I mean, 10 blown saves is bad. I mean, as I said before, I you know, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this, and that's okay. But you know, half of those saves was due to errors by the other players. There's also that. I'm not excusing Holmes. Don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a few games that he blew for sure. But yeah, 10 blown saves is still unacceptable. And yeah, Ken says there's not a legitimate closer on the roster. Weaver, Hill are probably the best, or probably the closest thing to being a closer. Yeah, but I don't see Luke Weaver closing. I think they're going to continue. I think they're gonna continue sticking him in his respective role of pitching 2-3 innings. I don't think they're going to move him into a closer role. And my boy Gusto in the building. There you go. What up, Gusto? He said like, share, subscribe, turn on the notification bells, hit those emojis. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Thank you. But like I said, I think Clay Holmes is going to continue being the closer on this team. So the team says otherwise. I just don't see them making a switch. I really don't, unless things get really bad in these in the next month or so, in the next few weeks. If things get really bad, then I could see them. I could see them, taking Clay Holmes out of that role. Plain and simple, Holmes is a ground ball pitcher. He gives up a lot of soft contact and needs help from his friend. Yeah, and that's what he is. He's a ground ball pitcher. That's exactly what he is. He is 100% a ground ball pitcher. So, yeah, I know, Albert. Yeah, because Dave Righetti had 13 blown saves in 1987. So, yeah, Holmes needs 4 more to break that record, right? Not a great record to lose, but Spinning Mantis, what's up? But hopefully, I mean, the bullpen, not just Clay Holmes, but when you look at the bullpen is, there is a problem with the bullpen. The bullpen there's a few names that are good on this bullpen, but there are some arms that are missing, and there are arms that hopefully that make a comeback and help this bullpen, right? I mean, we're hearing about Scott Efros. He's starting to find his command. We're hearing about, Lou Trevino. He's making his rehab starts. Also, Clark Schmidt, he's going to make he's about to start his rehab starts. Hopefully we can get him back in the rotation. who else we got? We got we got Cody Poteet. We got just trying to think of some other names here. But yeah, I mean, there's a few arms that should be coming back. Hopefully, they can help this. They can help this bullpen. Don't worry, Gusto. I'll be out of the house here soon. Yeah, well, with Mark Leiter Jr. My thing with Mark Leiter Jr. is this. I don't think he should have been put in the bottom of the 10th to try and close out that game. I think that was the wrong guy to put in. I probably would have put in a guy like Tonkin, Cousins, right? I never want to put. I don't want to. I didn't want to put. I wouldn't have put Mark Leiter Jr. in there. I really didn't want to get Mark Leiter Jr. in there. Mark Leiter Jr. was, to me, he's more of like a put him in the 6th or 7th inning kind of pitcher, not to go close out a game. I mean, there was that one game against the Phillies where he got himself out of a jam, which, gave me a little promise, but, he didn't. But, that game against the Tigers, I mean, he did lose the game, unfortunately, but but I wouldn't have put him in that situation. So, and as far as Jack Neely, I know a few of you folks have brought up Jack Neely's name. I didn't want to see him traded. I don't know. I don't know if it made. I was still a little worried about trading him because it was Jack Neely, and there was a lot of talk about Jack Neely. I don't know if I would have given him up, but I mean, I understand from the Yankees situation that they needed an arm, and I know Mark Leiter Jr. That wasn't a name that I was expecting the Yankees to get. They did go out and get Aniel De Los Santos too, which Aniel De Los Santos didn't exactly work out, and he got DFA'd, and he got picked up by the White Sox. So I don't right now with Mark Leiter Jr. I'd say he's good. I just wouldn't put him in a closer situation. And it's funny that I say that because I remember when he was striking some hitters out, and a few weeks ago, people were talking about maybe maybe he should be the closer. Some folks were saying that he should be the closer, but I beg to differ on that. I was like, let's slow it down, because it seems like anytime that a pitcher comes out, especially a bullpen arm comes out and says and does a really good job, it's like they're ready to immediately replace Clay Holmes. So Jack, Leiter's not that guy. Leiter's not that guy. All right, Gusto. Have a good day, bro. We'll talk to you soon. Yeah, I mean, for as far as the the pitching goes, and during the trade deadline, because I was talking about this a little bit with Donald and yesterday, because I jumped on with him, and I'm just gonna pull this up here, pull that message up. But I was hanging out with Donald yesterday, so helped him yesterday since Tats and Rob couldn't make it on the Pinstripe Chronicles show. They hit me up. I jumped on with him. Now, I know during the deadline, as far as relief pitching goes and pitching in general, the prices were high, right? And I know some fans were talking about the Yankees didn't go after Tanner Scott, but Tanner Scott is a rental, and we saw what the Padres gave up for him, right? They gave up some gave up some pretty good prospects for Tanner Scott for a rental, and the thing is, I and I'll ask this question to all of you: would you all have been willing to give up some top name prospects for Tanner Scott, who would only be like a 2 or 3 month rental? Were you all willing to do that? And were you all willing to give up any big name prospects for any of the pitching that was out there? Andy Martino was on foul territory yesterday, saying that Cash was in on a lot of relief pitcher deals, but couldn't stomach the cost and prospects. I mean, that's probably what it was. I mean, I'm sure what some of the prospects, what the other teams were asking for, was probably outrageous. Well, okay, so for Tanner Scott, I mean, would you have included guys like Roderick Arias? Would you have included George Lombard? Would you have included Spencer Jones in that deal? Well, Skubal is a different story. But according to the Detroit Tigers, Skubal was never going to be traded anyway. I'm sure they entertained some phone calls, but they had no intention on trading Skubal. He could have been part of that conversation. Second, fourth, and 24th prospects. Hell no. He was overvalued. Padres wrecked the upper level of their farm system for the next 3 years. Yeah, exactly. So would you have traded the Yankees' second, fourth, fifth, 20, and 24th prospects? So Nosebleed's saying he would have traded Arias. And yeah, Uncle Tats here says rentals are hard to trade for, especially in the seller's market like this year. A lot of teams overpaid. Yeah, big time. Big time. So, look, I'm not going to blame Cashman for pulling back on some of those deals. I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna blame him for it. I'm not trading for a rental. They apparently had a deal ready to go for Fairbanks, but the talks broke down. It failed. I don't want to say it failed, but it died out. But I don't know what the Rays were asking for when it came to Fairbanks, but I know Fairbanks got traded, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, was Fairbanks, did Fairbanks get hurt? Yeah, he got, so I just pulled it up. The Pete Fairbanks got diagnosed with a right lat strain. So if the Yankees traded for Pete Fairbanks and he got hurt as a New York Yankee, how would the fans respond? How would the fans responded if the Yankees got Pete Fairbanks from the Rays, but now Fairbanks is diagnosed with a right lat strain, so it seems likely he's gonna miss the rest of the season. So can you imagine if the Yankees traded for Fairbanks, how would you all respond? Yeah, Damien. I mean, I wasn't really that high on the Aniel De Los Santos. That's one area that I did not agree with Cashman pulling that trade. I didn't agree with that at all. It didn't really make sense to get Aniel De Los Santos. I'm not sure why they got Aniel De Los Santos. It didn't make any sense to me. So I'll give you that. I don't agree with Aniel De Los Santos, but again with Pete Fairbanks, I'm glad the Yankees didn't get him. I'm glad the Yankees didn't get Pete Fairbanks because that was a guy I was like, yeah, he would be an excellent pitcher for the bullpen. But now he is hurt and he's likely out for the rest of the season with a right lat strain. So I'm glad that trade didn't go down. But yeah, this did like Uncle Tat said. He said that this was a seller's market and the prices were very high. And yeah, I can't blame Cashman for not caving into some of the deals some of the things that he was being asked for. Some of the players that he was probably asked for. We don't know who, but I'm sure it was a good amount. But the De Los Santos one was that was a mistake. I didn't quite agree with that. What's Ken saying here? There aren't not any lockdown closers that were available at the trade deadline. This past weekend got beat like a drum against the D-backs. He gave up multiple home runs and ended up going to extra innings. Well, there you go. There you go. Yeah, Frank. I mean, I thought the Fairbanks deal would have been good. I thought it would have been great too. Absolutely. But he got hurt. But of course, you can't predict these things, right? You can't predict injuries. Injuries do happen sometimes. With certain players, they're prone to injury. Other players, injuries happen, and sometimes they're just like they happen from freak accidents. It's hard to believe that Holmes is the only closer when past Yankees had more than one closer at the same time. Lyle and Gossage, Rivera and Robertson, Britton Chapman. Yeah, but you know what? Like, okay, Robertson, Britton, Chapman, Miller, Betances, they're not they weren't on the same level as Rivera. I'm just gonna, I don't they have good stuff, but they still weren't on the level of Rivera. And also, I mean, Clay Holmes clearly not on the same level as Rivera. They thought Blake could turn. Well, Matt Blake is known to turn some of these pitchers that we've never heard of or pitchers with high ERAs into fantastic pitchers. I mean, we've seen him do it. I mean, when Clay Holmes got traded to the Yankees and he had a high 5 ERA, and I was, a lot of us fans were wondering who is this Clay Holmes guy. Ended up being good. He got his ERA. Clay Holmes' ERA is still at 2.88. Last I checked, right? I mean, his numbers are better now with the Yankees than they were in the Pirates. I mean, the blown save stinks. I hate the blown saves, but his numbers overall greatly improved compared to when he was with the Pirates. Jason put out a short saying that the Yankees closer in 2025 could be Ben Shields. I mean, we'll see who the closer is going to be next season. We don't know. We truly don't know. Settling for failure. Who's settling for failure? Who's we? I'm not settling for failure. Yeah, Zanley. I mean, like I said, with Leiter Jr., I wouldn't put him in a closer situation. I would never do that to him. I would never do that to him. I'd rather put him in the 6th, 7th inning. Again, that game on Sunday, I would have. I would have put him. I would have put somebody else in there. Good place. We're in the hunt. We may have help on the way. No, and we truly don't know. We truly don't know who we know teams that are going to make the playoffs, but we don't know for sure who's going to make the World Series. I mean, there's no team that's going to be necessarily, be running away with it. It's not clear like who's gonna run away with it because There is no team right now with a winning percentage over 600, which is shocking. Anna Marie, what's going on, Anna Marie? Good morning to you. Hopefully you're doing well. What's up, Eunice? Yeah, about yeah. I mean, and they have a right to be worried about how Clay Holmes is going to do in the playoffs. Yeah, well, 2001, 04. I remember those years. That was brutal to watch. So, oh, was Brian Cashman in on Stanek? Oh yeah, offense is down big. Yeah, offense is down big time across the sport. It really is. Yeah, the offense is down this year. You know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, again at the trade deadline, there wasn't really there was limited names, and with those limited names, what teams were asking for, I mean, the asking price was high. So, again, teams like the Yankees, they weren't willing to risk so much. You know, the bright spot out of that trade deadline is that they got Jazz Chisholm Jr., which unfortunately he got hurt, but hopefully we see him back next month. Hopefully he comes back healthy. Yeah, Torres and Holmes costing. I mean, let's hope that's not the case. I mean, Gleyber Torres usually Gleyber Torres has he has a good postseason. He usually plays well in the off or in the postseason. I don't know how well he'll play this postseason. I couldn't tell you. But he was the 27th man. He was the 27th man. Whenever you bring a player up as the 27th man, they're going to get sent back down. It happens all the time. Oh, Stanek was not on Cash's list, but he was one of the top relievers not named. Scott, that was generating. Gotcha. Yeah, if I wanted a pitcher from the Mariners, it would have been one of their starters potentially. But I know the asking price for that would have been high, and I don't think they would have done it because they're in a hunt themselves. And shout out to my guy Ronnie Green for gifting a Strike Zone membership. Ronnie, you are the most generous, man. You're one of the most generous in the chat. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to my guy Ronnie. If you did get a membership for Ronnie, whoever that may be, make sure you all thank him. That is very generous of you. I don't know who got it, but whoever did get it, make sure you do thank him if you are in the chat. Make sure you all thank him. So, it went to Jared. Okay, Jared, finally you got your membership. There you go. See, if you're just patient, you get a membership. There you go. You were picked at random. So you could thank Rodney for the membership there, Jared. Hopefully you're still in the chat. So just so everybody knows the way memberships work, if you're gifted a membership, that membership will last for 30 days. Folks who are gifted a membership, you're chosen at random because the person that gifts the membership, they don't get to choose. That's picked at random. It's good for 30 days. And then if you want to continue being a member, the link, I always put the link in the description. You could click on that description and become a member yourself. So there you go, Jared. You can thank Rodney for the gift. So you're welcome. Yeah, Ronnie Green for the win. Exactly. So shout out to my guy, Rodney Green. Thank you so much, Rodney. Thank you. And Jared, welcome. Welcome. But let's get back to some of the comments here. Yeah, I saw this comment. Yeah, you beg to differ. Yeah, he's been one of the best bats in the postseason when the Yankees were in. I hate to say it, and I'm not, and please don't come after. I mean, you could come after me, that's fine. But Judge in the postseason doesn't have great numbers. I'm not taking anything away from Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge is an excellent player. He's awesome. He's great at what he does. But in the postseason, his postseason numbers weren't great. Giancarlo Stanton, his postseason numbers are great. Gleyber Torres is great. Gleyber Torres going into the postseason this year, I don't know. There's a question mark for me on that one. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Spinning Mantis, Big G is he's in the postseason as well. He's good in the postseason. As a matter of fact, he's excellent. That was the media. That was the media. As far as bad mouthing Jazz Chisholm, that was probably the media. I mean, Jazz Chisholm probably, he was probably just unhappy playing for the Marlins. I mean, let's face it, it was the Marlins, one of the worst teams in all of baseball. So, he wanted to get out of there, and he's happy to be playing for the New York Yankees. He loved the Yankees when he was growing up. But again, the Tigers series, it's over. It was a disappointing series overall. It was a bad series. Time to move on. So the Yankees now, they have a 3-game set against the Cleveland Guardians. All right. They're playing against the Cleveland Guardians. Now the Cleveland Guardians, just for reference, they're in first place in the AL Central. Right, they have a 72-52 record. All right, so they almost have the same record as the Yankees. But Guardians that's going to be a crucial series against the Cleveland Guardians. The Guardians they're a good team. They're a really good team. So I'm curious to see how the Yankees are gonna do against the Guardians. The Guardians, again, they have a good team. I want to know from all of you though, how are you all feeling about this upcoming series against the Guardians? Are you all feeling confident? Are you all worried? There's the game, the series will take place at Yankee Stadium, so that's a good thing. At least with the pitching matchups that are coming up, you're going to have Luis Hill. I believe it's Luis Hill, Nestor Cortez, and Garrett Cole in this series. Yeah. So today it's Luis Hill. Tomorrow, Nestor Cortez, and then Garrett Cole will be pitching on Thursday. So at least you have Hill going on the mound tonight, and then you have Cortez or Cole on Thursday. Cortez is the one I'm worried about. Although Cortez had a solid outing against the White Sox last week, which was great to see. But how does he play against? How does he play against the Guardians? You throw if you had not to worry about the Dodgers. Yeah. Well, I mean, Dodgers, they're having some problems themselves. Yo, Iron Hawaiian, what's up? Poteet, I could see him in a bullpen role, personally. If offense shows up, I think we win. Agreed. Guardians are on a 3-game losing streak and are 5-5 over their last 10. Yeah, well, because they got swept by the Diamondbacks. They just got swept by the Brewers. right? So they're definitely going to come in with a vengeance. Better fix his issues from last start when he got rocked. Yeah, 100%, man. He got rocked in that game against the White Sox. That was bad. And Hill definitely needs a bounce back outing. Yeah, it is hit or miss with Nestor. Eunice says Yankees have to take care of their own business. They cannot bank on teams beating Baltimore. Offense needs to get things going. Yeah, I mean, they need to take advantage of these types of situations. It's like if Baltimore is losing, the Yankees need to be winning. This is where the Yankees have to take advantage. I mean, you would think the way the Yankees have been playing or have played prior, like about a month ago, that they would have been about 4 or 5 games behind the Orioles, but the Orioles have not been playing well either. They're 7-10 in August so far. Yeah, you're talking about the Guardians. I'm assuming they're Chamberlain. Yeah, the Yankees have they got a good record against the AL Central. They're 20-4. So that's a good thing. Hopefully they can get 2 out of 3 against the Guardians. I would love if they could get 2 out of 3 against the Guardians. That would be big, but this series is going to be crucial. So, Egyptian magician Luis Hill is at 121 innings. Chamberlain was talking about the Guardians there, dude. Boone, well, Verdugo, Torres, definitely not. Holmes, big question mark. I don't know if he'll be back. That one's a big question mark for me. I wouldn't be surprised if he's back, but at the same time, if he was gone, my feelings wouldn't be hurt. Boone, depends on how things play out this season. Cashman, I don't see going anywhere. Yeah, the Orioles are hurt too. Yeah, they got some guys that are hurt on their team. So, well, John, the thing is, even if the Yankees got in as a wild card, or they could still go all the way, because in the playoffs, every team that makes the playoffs, they're all 0-0, and nobody. And we saw the 2023 World Series. It was 2 wild card teams that made it to the World Series. All right. The Braves didn't make it. The Orioles didn't make it. And these were the best teams. These were the 2, of the best teams in all of baseball. Chisholm, he'll probably be back next month if everything goes according to plan. Yeah, yeah. A lot of times we've seen this season with the Yankees where if they fall behind, if they fall behind, they have a hard time making a comeback. Especially when if a starting pitcher gives up like 3 or 4 runs and they're down like 4-0, the bats, show no life. Yeah, Patrick. I didn't know he got called up by the Cubs. I know he was in their minor. I know he's playing on their minor league teams, but I know he was in the lighter deal. Yeah, and Marie, sometimes the bats, sometimes they're pressing too much. Sometimes they're pressing too much at the plate, and that can't happen. But I'm curious to see what the lineup is going to be tonight. You know, of course, I'm going to go live for the pregame later, so I hope to see all of you there. But I'm curious to see what the Yankees lineup is going to look like. I would think that Austin Wells will be in the lineup. Hopefully we do. Hopefully we do see him in the lineup. Curious to see if who's going to be in the lineup between Peraza and Oswaldo Cabrera. Are we going to see Ben Rice in this lineup? Right. I know the Yankees are going up. Well, you might not see Ben Rice in the lineup because for the Guardians, Matthew Boyd is who's pitching for them, and he's a left-handed pitcher. So there's a likely chance that you could see DJ LeMahieu. Now that I'm thinking about it, you might see Trevino. I hate to say it, but oh, cold Italian pizza. How you doing? How's it going? It was can't really complain. August 20th, the Yankees have best record in AL and are in first place. Yeah, I mean, even with all yeah, I mean, he's at cold Italian pizza is absolutely right. Even with all the problems that the Yankees are having and all the issues that they've been experiencing, I mean, this team is still in first place. 73-52 record. Well, half a game is not a comfortable lead, but the fact of the matter is, despite all the struggles that they've been going through, I mean, they're still in first place. They could easily be back 4 or 5 games. Yeah, Izzy, that is a concern with Clay Holmes. I see that stat. Yeah, there's no way the lineup is out already. That lineup is not going to come out till the afternoon. Not till it won't come out till 4 o'clock. So, but yeah, Matthew Boyd is who's pitching for the Cleveland Guardians. I don't know much about him, honestly. Looks like he's got a 0-0 record. So I don't know if he's a bullpen guy and they're using him as an opener. I'm not the most familiar with him. He might have been a starter in the past. All I know is that he's a lefty pitcher, so I wouldn't be I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you didn't see Ben Rice and Austin Wells in this lineup. But I want to see Austin Wells in the lineup. Or systemic throughout the league. I seriously doubt there will be a team. I don't think there's going to be a team that wins 100 games. Honestly, I saw the Yankees. I predicted in the offseason that the Yankees would probably get 95 wins this season. That was my prediction, is 95 games. Okay, mid-tier starter who was with the Tigers. I mean, this is where I say the Yankees should take advantage. But when it comes to these mid-tier starters or low-tier starters, the Yankees tend to struggle. Why that is, I don't know. That happened on Saturday when they went against Montero, who had a high 5 ERA, and the Yankees struggled big time against him. Trevino has a 500 against starter. How many at bats? Yeah, called Italian pizza. I mean, the Yankees could have been up 5 games. They could have been up like 3 or 4 games. If they were winning the games that they should have won. But they didn't. Ian Hawaiian, I wouldn't exactly call it a total bust. I mean, he has been one of the better. He had a good bat. I mean, he had a pretty good career with the Yankees. Not excellent. It was good, but he wasn't. This season it's a different story. This year it's a different story. You know. Well, 2 at-bats, I mean, that's small. If it was like 10 at-bats with a 500 average, then I get it. Verdugo and Judge 333 with 3 at-bats at each. I mean, yeah, it's 3 at-bats. I need a I mean, it's good. It's good. I don't want to say it's bad, but I there needs to be a bigger. I wish the at-bats were more so we can get a better idea. But 3 at-bats, 333. I mean, it's nice. And this is 100%. Torres greater than Gallo and Hicks. 100% on that. Yeah, okay. I figured he'd be an opener. So yeah, never gone 4 innings pitched in the last 2 years, minors included. Yeah, I figured he'd be an opener. Hopefully the Yankees can take advantage. Hopefully they can get on him early. That would be nice. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, what I can't think of another reason why Torres is still a Yankee. I mean, listen, they almost traded him 2 years ago, right, to the Marlins, but then the Marlins also asked for Peraza, and the Yankees pulled back. So, I'm sure he's still a New York Yankee this season because of postseason experience and numbers. But yeah, looking at the matchups with the Yankees versus Boyd and the Guardians versus Hill. I mean, not a lot of guys on Cleveland have a lot of experience against Hill, and then there's some guys that have faced Boyd before on the Yankees. So, we'll go over all of that at the pregame. Yeah, I mean, I agree, Army Chowmain, but again, some of these pitchers that the Yankees should be going, hitting against, should be hitting well against. They seem lost at the plate. They show up against some of the aces. Yeah, Jared, where were you? You got gifted a membership by Rodney, so you better thank Rodney, dude. See all that negativity about you not getting a membership, not being patient, and then now you got a membership. What closers are free agent? So Tanner Scott's a free agent. Looks like Paul Sewald is a free agent. But I wonder what the asking price is going to be for Tanner Scott. Yeah, this is true too. The Marlins owners vetoed Kim Ng's trade for Torres twice. I mean, not that the Yankees didn't try to move on. I mean, yeah, they were trying to sell on. They were trying to sell on Torres while his value was still high. So, Torres, doesn't have a lot of value now. I mean, they're not gonna. I'm not surprised that he wasn't traded in this. That he wasn't traded this deadline either. Honestly, I would have been shocked. Oh, Kenley Jensen and Kimbrel. Yeah, I'm not. I mean, Jensen would be interesting. I wouldn't mind him. Kimbrel, not so much. No, thank you. Might as well just keep Clay Holmes at that point. Yeah, Albert. I mean, Gleyber Torres is not going to get re-signed in the offseason. It's not going to happen. This is his This is his last year as a New York Yankee. He's going to wear a uniform elsewhere. Where that is, I don't know. But Gleyber Torres is, this is his last year as a Yankee, and wherever he signs, I'm assuming that he's going elsewhere, right? I'm like talking confident that he's going to sign elsewhere because it only makes sense. I mean, the Yankees have a ton of infielders, and they got and they have infielders in their minor league system as well. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. Yeah, the closers for this season of free agency, it is light there, Ken. You are right. Well, midway through 25, if those young infielders are struggling like young kids can do, then what? Well, you know, be patient with them, stick it out with them. If the Yankees give Soto a contract, will they have enough money for a good closer? Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, well, if they're gonna go stick Torres at Scranton, I'm all for that. Yo, my guy Anthony Garcia, que lo que? What's up, my guy? What's going on? Torres, Rizzo, and Holmes can all kick rocks this offseason. Yeah, no doubt, bro. Well, Rizzo's not going to be back. They're not going to exercise his option. Torres, he won't be back either. Holmes is a question mark. But I wouldn't be shocked if the Yankees didn't bring him back. Who the Yankees closer would be, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Cold Italian pizza. Hopefully with these pitchers coming back, especially with the bullpen. Hopefully it's a better looking bullpen in September, and these arms are able to deliver. I would love to see it. Oh, Jacob, what's up, buddy? Thanks for checking in. And sorry to hear. I'm sorry to hear. I hope everything is okay with your grandmother. Uh, Folks in the chat, make sure you all send some, prayers, positive vibes, positive energy to Jacob Petruzzi, or for his and the family, his grandmother. So I'm sorry to hear that, man. But yeah, good luck with the family situation. Yep. Yeah, Garcia sending his prayers out. Yeah. So I hope everything goes okay for your grandmother there, Jacob. I'm sorry, man. But keep us in the loop, right? And you could message me on X if you need to. Yeah, you're welcome there, Jacob. You're welcome. Yeah, I would take Clay Holmes over freaking Kimbrel every day of the week. Every day of the week. So no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But yeah, folks, let me know in the chat, like, how are you all feeling about this series against Cleveland? I know a few of you have said it, but how are the rest of you feeling about the series? I mean, I'm hoping the Yankees could take 2 out of 3. This is an inch. Okay, so BABIP is a stat that better reflects how poorly a team aligns their defense to certain hitters. Holmes is getting screwed on plays that should be outs, but ends up as hits. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Parrot Boy and his man bun can't help us ever. You feel all right about the series? Good thing Cleveland's not playing well. This is true. Cleveland's been struggling. Oh, you're expecting a sweep if the offense wakes up. That's fair. Rizzo may be back next season. The first base situation isn't in the farm. Yankees obviously don't trust Rice with his lack of playing time and Rumsfeld continued presence. That could be a possibility too. Win 2 would be as good to start the homestand. Absolutely. Anna Marie doesn't feel confident. Cold Italian Pizza sending his love out. SIS subscription. Is there like a cost to it? To that subscription that you're talking about? AI wasn't part of sports. Yeah, well, analytic, well, AI analytics, whatever, whatever you call it, it's here to stay. I was talking when I was talking with Andy Moda yesterday, and we were talking about analytics. Analytics is something that's even used during the off season when during free agency. There could be meetings with agents and general managers, and the general managers have their analytical team doing their work during these meetings, and it's crazy. But analytics is here to stay, folks. I hate to say it, but it yeah, yeah, J Ram could absolutely homer. I could see that. 2 out of 3 games, probably. He's a dangerous hitter. Depends on how smart Boone is feeling. Yeah, Jose Ramirez. Yeah, I could see that comparison of him and Rafael Devers. Yeah, Judge getting 60 plus homers because where's he at? Aaron Judge has what 44 home runs. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's got 44 home runs. He could very well get past 60. For sure. Yeah. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games. Yeah, they just got swept by the Brewers, right? This past weekend. So I think their bats are good. They have good bats, but their pitching, if I'm not mistaken, is a little suspect. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the Brewers are good, Lou. The Brewers are good. Yeah, Anna Marie. I mean, the Yankees do need their bullpen guys coming back from injury, but it's gonna take a little time. You know, you got to let these guys rehab and heal up and make sure everything goes according to plan. Yeah, I did see that they got swept by the Diamondbacks too. That is crazy. That is crazy. Yes, indeed. So yeah, I mean the Yankees could, they could take advantage of Cleveland if everything goes according to plan, right? If tonight Luis Hill pitches a good game, and if the bats just start clicking, they start their hitting, as Ken always talks about. Doesn't matter what lineup you put out, it's all about situational hitting, right? Which sometimes the Yankees do very well with situational hitting, other times not so much. So you don't know what you're getting with the Yankees sometimes. So situational hitting is extremely important, and hopefully the Yankees can do that in this series, not in just this series, but every series that they play, right? So looking at here we are, August 20th. So looking at the rest of the rest of August. Yeah, Hector Neris got DFA'd just now, like this morning, because was he signed by the? Who was he signed? He was signed by the Cubs, I think. He got released by the Cubs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I mean, he's a high strikeout rate guy. I mean, would it be worth looking at him? I mean, I liked Hector Neris. That was one guy I wanted the Yankees to sign in the offseason. All right, so Li says, "What's up, Li? By the way, what's going on?" He says Hector Neris sucks. Well, he gave his opinion. DFA'd by the Cubs to promote Neely. Oh boy, here we go. Well, looks like to promote Neely there, Rob. So that's why. Yeah, Rizzo has been too inconsistent injured in the past 2 seasons for the Yankees to pick up. Yeah, I mean that's another reason why I think he could get. They don't exercise that option. LeMahieu, do they DFA him with $30 million left on his contract? I don't know. Well, his savant page is all blue for Hector Neris. Eesh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the Yankees adding anybody. They're just gonna wait. They're just gonna roll with what they have right now, and wait for their own arms to make a comeback. Yeah, Li. I was honestly, man, I was shocked when I was surprised when Neely got traded. I didn't expect the Yankees to do that, but what are you gonna do? But looking at the Yankees schedule here in the last 11 days of August, So they have a 3-game set against Cleveland, Yankee Stadium. Then the Rockies coming to town. All right, they're going to play, and they got a 3-game set against the Yankees in the Bronx. The Yankees then go to Washington to go play against the Nationals. And then they close out the month playing against the St. Louis Cardinals. All right, and that's going to go from August 30th through September 1st. So, and then the month of September gets a little tough. It does get a little tough in the month of September. So in the middle of the month, they do have a West Coast trip. So Seattle and Oakland. So September is going to be crucial. You know, there's not a lot of games left here, folks. I mean, not a lot of games left. You know, where are we at? You know, 37 games left this season. 37 games left. So the season's winding down. The season's winding down. I mean, it's winding down slowly but surely. Yeah, I mean, Neris, yeah, he was a high volume strikeout guy for the Astros for sure. Yeah, overused by the Cubs, yeah. Whoever starts building momentum and gets hot will win it. All we need to do is go back to our mindset the first 2 months. Yeah, 100%, Ronnie. You're right. The teams that get hot in September and ride that wave going into the postseason usually are the ones that succeed and end up winning the World Series. I mean, we saw that with the Texas Rangers and the Diamondbacks. You know, both teams were hot towards the end of the season. They rode that wave into the postseason. Both teams made it to the World Series, and the Rangers ended up winning the whole freaking thing, which, you know, nobody expected. Yeah, Trevino is probably he's probably going to be a lock on Thursday since Garrett Cole is pitching on Thursday. No doubt. Holmes is also 6 in saves. That's top tier, yet he's blown 10. I think despite all the other numbers, that's the most concerning of all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Verdugo does need to get going. I wouldn't say Verdugo is worthless there, Jared. I mean, his defense has still been very important to the Yankees. The Yankees haven't had a good left fielder in a long time. And, you know, he's made a lot of great plays in left field. Yeah, his bat's not been great, no doubt. But again, they brought up Jason Dominguez, and you know, he didn't do anything. I'm not going to bash Jason Dominguez. We need to see more of him. Yeah, the bullpen needs work. There, Li, I'm not disagreeing. The bullpen, there needs to be improvement there for sure. Oh, Kirby would be awesome on the Yankees. I like him. I do like him. Yeah, we'll see, Frank. I mean, you know, Boone himself said that Wells is still going to get the majority of the playing time. Let's see if he sticks to his word, right? Is Kirby is he a free agent this season? I'm just curious. Trevino and Boone will cost Wells if what you guys say is true. Not Kirby Yates, no. Oh, Kirby begins his arbitration this year. Okay. Kirby Yates? No, it should be. We're talking about George Kirby, right? That's who we're talking about? Yeah, that's what I thought. George Kirby. Yeah, we're not talking about Kirby Yates. Yeah, George Kirby. I'm not saying that the Mariners are going to trade him. We're just talking. I mean, at least for me, I was just talking about it would be awesome if the Yankees had him. I'm not saying the Yankees weren't going to trade for him. So I would love if the Yankees had him. That guy, he'd be great. Yeah, the Mariners. Mariners do need a bat. Maybe they go after Torres this offseason. Yeah, so George Kirby's a Super 2 player with a 4 years of arbitration. Yeah, that's yeah. If the Yankees were to try to go after him, the Mariners are going to ask for a haul. I didn't. I had. Yeah. Well, I don't know. His name got brought up. I mean, I'm just saying it would be great to have him, but I doubt the Yankees would be able to get him. Yeah, that thought has never crossed my mind as far as the Yankees trading for Kirby, and I could see the Yankees giving him or not the Yankees, sorry, the Mariners giving him an extension. He wants to be a Wheeler type extended pitch, which is about 35 to 40 a year. M's won't be able to afford that if they also want Gilbert. So you do bring up something interesting there. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens with all of that with Gilbert but yeah. But folks, have fleeced the Mariners. They fleece us all the time. That's funny. Talk around here is that M's cannot afford Castillo going forward, and he's due less than $23 million a year for the next. I mean, yeah, that guy they gave him a fat. He got a fat deal. Only got the extension because for that high AAV because it was a short term deal. Yep. But anyway, folks, that's gonna do it for me. But I do appreciate every single one of you who have joined the chat. Ronnie, thanks for gifting the membership. Shout out to you, Ronnie. Shout out to everybody in the chat that tuned in. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for always rocking out with me as you always do. I do greatly appreciate that. So I will go live for the pregame later on today. So I hope to see all of you there. If you haven't yet, folks, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this channel out with everyone you know. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, let's get this channel to 900, folks. Let's get to 900 subscribers. We're just a little over 50 away. So if the sooner the better, let's get there. Let's get to 900. And, of course, 1,000 is the big goal, but we got to get to 900 first. But, folks, enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you all have a good day. Hopefully you all have a good Tuesday. See you later for the pregame. And we'll talk next time. Have a good day.